Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I've been gone for about a week. I actually got the flu and I wasn't feeling that good, so I decided just to take the week off. Hey Remy, say hi. Some of you guys had asked me what I do for a living, and I just wanted to give you guys a little quick peek into my life, I guess. I am a music producer for a pretty major record label here in Los Angeles. This is my little studio. Don't mind the blankets on the windows. If you make music, I'm sure you understand why I've done that, but this is my setup. This is my home studio setup. Nothing super fancy, but it gets the job done. Here are all my little knickknacks. Some OG Pokemon cards, car parts, car collectibles. Oh, for any of you asking about center caps, I do have a set of the OG Volk center caps, which I am going to be putting on my 2021 STI with the OG Bronze TEs, which I have sitting new in the box, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So this is my studio. This is kind of where I keep all my film stuff, just random electronics, signed Paul Walker memorabilia, which I haven't hung up yet, but I probably should. Some Pokemon stuff. I'm really into Pokemon and just Japanese culture in general, but I like to collect weird things. But yeah, this is my studio. This is where I work during the day, or when I'm not actually at the office or anywhere out in LA making music. This is kind of where I do everything. I guess my basic setup is I'm using Barefoot. I think they're the Barefoot Print 01s. I'm not sure exactly what monitors they are, but I've been using these for a couple years now, I think, and they are great. I run a generic MacBook Pro 15-inch, nothing crazy. Apollo Twin interface, satellite, so I can run pretty much more plugins if I want to. Just a simple PreSonus monitor station, nothing fancy. I should probably replace that. This isn't really the best, but honestly, it gets the job done for $200. So, and yeah, this is my setup. All right, let's go ahead and check out the car. Okay guys, this is my 2012 Subaru STI Hatchback. This is actually my newest car I just picked up not too long ago, so it is completely stock, as you can see. We really haven't done much to it. I actually did add a Tomei exhaust to it. That's about it. Yeah, that's pretty much the only mod I've done to it so far. We have a bunch of parts in the garage we're going to be putting on, but this is it. This is my 2012 Subaru WRX STI Hatchback. I've always wanted one of these. I've owned almost every generation of STI, GD, VA, Bug-Eye, but I've always wanted a hatchback, so this is going to be the new build for the time being. I purchased this from the original owner. I think pretty much the worst thing about the car are probably the wheels. As you can see, they're pretty thrashed, but that's kind of what you get here from living in LA. The guy I bought it from was an Army vet, so he didn't really have any interest in modifying the car. I think he just enjoyed it for what it was, but obviously we are going to be modifying this thing. One thing I never really liked about the hatchbacks were that they gave you these clear kind of 90s aftermarket looking taillights, but I know they make some film that kind of overlays around the whole light, and it gives it a more red appearance, which I think I'm going to do. I'm not a huge fan of replacing taillights and headlights with aftermarket options, but if I can improve the output by replacing the bulbs with, I did do that. I did replace some of the bulbs already with LED bulbs, which really do help with the brightness. But I always thought it was a little funny. They give you that kind of clear look from the 90s that a lot of the kids would replace their taillights with. Let's go ahead and take a look at the interior. Don't mind the access port cable, it's kind of just hanging everywhere. I haven't really wrapped it up and figured out where to store underneath the column yet, but I did get a cob access port and pair it to the car, so I am now able to read everything that's going on with the engine. But honestly, the interior of this car is pretty perfect in my opinion. Everything's nice and clean. It does have an aftermarket head unit, which I'm not too upset about actually, because it now has a reverse camera, and I can pair it with Apple CarPlay, which for a daily driver you have to have. You got to be able to listen to your tunes. Onto the back seat. Super clean OEM floor mats. No stains on the seats. Headliners pretty much perfect. Even the back of the seats are extremely clean. Focus. I think at some point I do want to get an aftermarket wing for this car. I'm not really sure what I'm going to go with yet. I have been slowly researching it, but there are a lot of options out there, and a lot of people have different opinions on them, so I'm going to try and take my time and do the best research to get the best fitting and best looking wing possible for this car. One thing I do plan on doing is keeping this car carb legal for California. Almost all of my cars honestly probably would not pass the smog at this point, so I do plan on keeping this carb legal so I can take it to a emissions test and pass, so I can continue to register it legally within the state of California. But there are a lot of aftermarket parts now that are carb legal, so I don't see why I shouldn't be able to make 400 plus wheel horsepower with a carb legal setup. There's a lot of options with carb legal turbos, the Cob 20G. I'm not sure if Blouch makes any or if FP makes any, but they might. I still have to research that. As far as the engine, it is completely stock, and that was really important to me. Finding an STI that hadn't been modified in any way, it had never had a tune loaded onto it. This is the kind of build that I'm looking for. These are the kind of cars that I like to really sink my teeth into. I'm not a huge fan of taking apart someone else's build, finding out the mods that they did to it, or finding out the things that weren't properly installed. So if you can always find a car that's stock like this, if you plan on modifying yourself, this is the best option. It's kind of like having a blank slate, and you can build from the ground up. Okay guys, well that's going to do it. This is a short video. I'm just getting back into it. I'm just starting to feel a little better, so I just wanted to give you guys an update on where I am in life and the new project we're going to be sinking our teeth into. Don't worry, I have big plans still for the Civic Type R. We are kind of just waiting on parts to be announced and to get released to the public so I can purchase them. But other than that, we have a new project here that we are going to be really modifying and making this thing look really cool. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please give the video a like and leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.